What's up, y'all? It's your boy eBay Fight Predictions in the building, and this is your UFC 290 full card predictions in the building. But before we get into this amazing, beautiful stack card, I want you guys to follow me on my Instagram. I want you guys to follow me on my Twitter. Like, comment, and share the video. Let's get this eBay Fight Prediction Nation growing, y'all. Also letting y'all know I will be streaming more often. I will try to get that back on. I kind of took a streaming break, but I will be streaming more often. Obviously, I'll be streaming this pay-per-view card. I'll just do a companion with you guys. And obviously, I will try to get the Q&A streams back on. That's something that I've kind of been kind of lazy with, but I do want to get back on the streaming side of things, and going live more often. So yeah, I will try to get that back on. But besides that, we've gotten everything out of the way, any announcements. But yeah, hope you guys are ready for this full card predictions with this amazing card. A lot of good flyweights, by the way, but let's talk about it. Fight of the night. This is per Tapology, so the order might be a little wonky, but hey, it is what it is. Let's talk about Tari versus Edgar Jauregui. I'm sorry, y'all, about my voice. I'm kind of coming over a cold, so if I sound a little weird, that's why. But yeah, it is what it is. But yeah, Tari, man, really good fighter. Super young, super talented, good guard, and he's just shown amazing jiu-jitsu. He's had some really good wins, beating just Jesus Aguilar is also on this card, CJ Varga, which is a good win for him, and Carlos Candelo in his debut. He's shown really good grappling, good transitions from striking to grappling, just good IQ in there for a younger guy. Edgar Jauregui is actually somewhat dangerous. Good power, guy is coming at you, fights very offensively, no real defense, I would say, in his striking. He's coming at you. Good guard, good submissions off his back, good arm bars, triangles, stuff like that. In all the regional tape I saw of him. Vicious body kicks, really good knees in the clinch. That's another thing that he's really good at. But besides that, I think Tari is the better fighter. I think he's a little more talented, especially in the grappling department. And I think this fight will probably be in the grappling department. Tari will either take him down or they will scramble on the ground. And I think Tari will get the better of him on the ground. I think it'll be a good fight, a good scrap. But I got Tari by second round submission. And yeah, man, can't wait for it. So that's my pick. Next fight, Cameron Simon versus Terrence Mitchell. Terrence Mitchell, if you guys remember, Terrence Mitchell got completely smoked by Kai France on Tough. Good fight though. Terrence Mitchell's really long and tall for the division of flyweight. And he does come with a grappling background. He does look to get this to the ground. Good head kicks for him too. Good record too, 15-2. He's been fighting in Alaska for the past few years. So yeah. But Cameron Simon, defensively, there's some issues there. I'm not the biggest fan of his necessarily. I do think if he does fight a legitimate flyweight of legitimate skill, he will get beat. But the kid is tough. He throws a lot of good leg kicks. I like that. And he is not scared to walk you down. His fight with Mano Martinez was really interesting and fun to watch. He fights with a really good pace, and he comes to fight. I just think he's a little more tougher than Terrence Mitchell going into this matchup. He might be the shorter guy, and he might be the younger guy, and he might be the less experienced guy per se. But I think he's just a little more talented than him. He's a little more athletic, and yeah, I'm going to be rocking with Cameron Simon. I think Cameron Simon's going to leave this octagon being 9-0. So I'm rocking with Cameron Simon by decision. It should be a good fight, but I got Simon winning this fight. I think he'll overwhelm him with the pace, the leg kicks, the pressure, even some wrestling. And I think Simon will be good enough to get out of any submissions that Terrence Mitchell might present. So I got Simon here getting the victory. Next fight, Jimmy Crute versus Alonzo Menifield, the rematch. Last fight was a complete banger. I love that fight, man. That fight was a really good fight, man. Those guys went to war. It really was the power of the power of Alonzo Menifield versus the grappling of Jimmy Crute. I'm kind of torn on this one. I feel like I want to go Jimmy Crute. I think Jimmy Crute's the more he is the better fighter for me, but there's just something that's just really willing me to go with Alonzo Menifield. Alonzo Menifield put a beating on this kid. I hope Jimmy Crute goes out here and gets the W here, but I'm kind of done with Jimmy Crute. You know, he has no defense. He doesn't move his head. And yeah, his wrestling's really good and his grappling's good, but dude, man, he has to really work on his striking and just his movement. His footwork's off. He's flat-footed. He throws like what's it called? Like, I wouldn't call them empty body kicks, but just like kicks with no setups, kicks with no punches in front of him, no jab and then kick. He just throws body kicks and he gets hits with crosses. You just can't do that in the pocket, bro. You just can't. Even when he throws punches, he's not moving his head. He's just big and he's getting hit and he's not doing the right things, obviously. I'm just going to keep it like that. I think Menifield isn't that good to say, but Menifield's a little more athletic. He moves a little more. I would say is a little, maybe 3% better footwork. He hits way harder than Crute. They both aren't the most durable, but I would say for some odd reason, Alonzo's a little more durable than Crute. Just a feeling. And I'm going to take Alonzo Menifield by second round TKO. I'm done with Crute here. He really let me down in that first fight. So yeah, I'm rocking with Alonzo. And also the reach advantage that Crute has going into this, I think he's going to be a big factor for this fight. So I got Alonzo Menifield here getting the victory. Next fight, Vitor Petrino versus Marcin Prachnio. I'm gonna rock with Vitor here. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing his name, but I like Prachnio. He got the victory over William Knight. I was one of probably the only guys who was picking Prachnio that day. I remember a lot of people were on William Knight for some odd reason. And yeah, did William Knight shit the bed? Yeah, and Prachnio did not impress me by any means necessary. Good body kicks, good kicks, decent kickboxer. Guy does have a win over Kilo Roundtree, but I don't know if he does that in a rematch. Again, I think Vitor is a marauding motherfucker. He looked really good in his last fight against Anton. Showed some good takedown defense and some good grappling. I think he'll walk Prachnio down. I think he'll stuff any body kicks that he throws, and I think he'll beat him up a little bit. He could get to. I'm actually gonna take Vitor by knockout here. Actually, in the second round. I think Prachnio, he's made somewhat of a resurgence back for his career, but I still don't forget the guy that was getting whooped every goddamn fight, man. Like, I still remember about Prachnio's little losing streak that he was on. So I'm going to be rocking with Vitor here to get the victory by KO and finish over Prachnio. Next fight, Kamuela Kirk versus Esteban Ribovics. Kamuela Kirk, I mean, I don't know, like, he's whatever. He's not that good, in my humble opinion. No disrespect. I mean, he does certain things that I like, and he seems like a really good dude, but Damon Jackson completely dominated him, man. Just ragdolled him and then choked him out in the second round. I even thought he lost a Makwan Americani fight, but I get it. Makwan didn't do anything on top, so hey, it is what it is. It's MMA. But I think Esteban Ribovics is just a better fighter. Yeah, he lost his last fight, but besides that, I think Kamuela Kirk is just way too passive in there. He just doesn't really initiate the offense. He waits. He's a counter fighter somewhat, and I just think that's just going to be his Achilles heel. I think Esteban's going to unleash the offense on him. I think he's going to be the better fighter in there for 15 straight minutes, and yeah, I'm rocking with Esteban to get the victory via decision over Kamuela Kirk. Next fight, interesting female fight. Yazmin Jauregui versus Denise Gomes. Tough fight for Yazmin. She is fighting an interesting fighter here in Denise Gomes. Denise showed some power in her last fight, and Yazmin does go in the pocket, but I think Yazmin's tough enough and durable enough to take the punishment from Denise, and I think she'll overwhelm her with volume and pressure. A lot of people are high on this girl. She had a really good fight 2 fights ago, I think, It was, well, yeah, 2 fights ago, and yeah, everyone really likes her. So, but yeah, Mexican pride, Mexican toughness, that's a factor that I put in. Sometimes it's real. You know, them cats are durable. You got to respect the Mexican chin. I think it'll be a good fight here. Dennis Gomes, she could get the KO. She could. Anyone could get knocked out, so don't get it twisted. But I'm going to take Yazmin Jauregui via decision. I think she'll just overwhelm her with pressure, pace, and just good fundamental boxing in there. So I got Yazmin Jauregui via decision in this fight. Next fight, Shannon Ross versus Jesus Aguilar. Nothing special about either guy, real talk, but Shannon Ross is just, he's gotten finished a lot in his last few fights, and Jesus Aguilar hasn't taken the damage that Shannon Ross has. He hasn't been knocked out like that, so I guess I'm just going to lean towards Jesus Aguilar. Shannon Ross does have a big reach advantage going into this fight. He is the taller guy, but I think if Aguilar walks him down, beats him up, if he's just the tougher guy that he truly is in this matchup that I believe he is, I think he can outwill Shannon Ross and probably get a finish here. But I want to take Aguilar by decision just to be safe here. Not really big on Ross, to be honest with you. So yeah. Next fight, it does say Sean Brady versus Jack Della Maddalena, but sadly I got the information that fight got canceled, so we're not going to talk about that. Next fight is Robbie Lawler versus Niko Price. I do have a breakdown on this. It will be the retirement fight for my guy Robbie Lawler. I don't want to go too in depth with the fight. I will be picking Niko Price via first round KO. But besides that, though, I just want to appreciate Robbie Lawler for the career that he's had. Awesome fighter. I appreciated every fight that I've watched from him, even though I'm picking against him. And I do hope he gets the W. He proves me wrong. He's an awesome fighter. I'll never forget the Johnny Hendricks fights, the Roy McDonald fights, the Carlos Condit fights, the Josh Koscheck return performance. He's always been a fun fighter to watch. Even the Nick Diaz fight just recently. Robbie Lawler's a legend, so whatever happens, happens, but just respect my guy Robbie. He's a legend of the game. So yeah, picking Niko Price to get it done in the first round. Next fight, Dan Hooker versus Jalin Turner. This is eBay's bias prediction. I'm rocking with Dan Hooker by third round TK. I do have a breakdown on this, so I will go more in depth. Roast me in the comments. I know I'm gonna get it. But yeah, man, I can't wait for it. But hey, it is what it is. I already know y'all flaming me already. But hey, the Australian killer, the New Zealand murderer in Jalin Turner will be stopped on Saturday. So yeah. Next fight, Robert Whittaker versus Dricus du Plessis. I have a breakdown on this coming out. I'll keep it simple. I'm rocking with Mr. Whittaker here. It does pain me, but you know what? For the Dricus du Plessis supporters, that should be a good thing. Every time I picked Robert Whittaker, he's lost. He's lost twice to Adesanya. So, hey, hopefully this is the one. You never know. Dricus du Plessis might get the knockout. So just because I picked Robert Whittaker, so it's somewhat of a curse from the Whittaker fans. So you never know, man. You never know. So yeah, Dricus du Plessis might smoke him. But yeah, I'm rocking with Whittaker. I think he's just way better than him. I've always kind of felt like du Plessis is somewhat of a fraud, so no disrespect, mind you. But yeah, maybe du Plessis gets the KO here. You never know. Next fight, Bo Nickal versus Tresean Gore. I'll go a little more in depth with this since I don't have a breakdown on this. Tresean Gore is a good fighter. Comes from the Lima camp, really good leg kicks. He does come with a record of 4-2, so nothing special. Fights out of South Carolina, age 29, 6 foot, and reaches 75. So this is probably the best striker Bo Nickal is going to fight. Gore knows what he has to do, sprawl and brawl and put a beating on this kid. Put it on him, pressure him, and really go after him. See how tough he is. Attack the legs. Don't throw no body kicks because you'll catch him and turn him to single legs or to double legs. Just throw nothing but low kicks and maybe go high once in a while, and just put pressure on him. That's what Gore's really good at. He is coming off that crazy victory over Josh Friend where he got the guillotine choke, but he came off a knockout of Cody Brundage and a loss of Brian Battle due to inactivity, or not inactivity, lack of activity in that octagon in terms of just throwing output, throwing punches, stuff like that. He's kind of walking guys down and just throws the 2-3 and then the leg kick. That's kind of like Tresean Gore in a nutshell. Bo Nickal, phenomenal wrestler. I love Bo Nickal. You guys know. I think he has all the potential in the world to be a really good fighter. It pains my heart that he's fighting for America Top Team, fucking Fuego's boys. But hey, it is what it is. Bo Nickal comes with a record 4-0. Is fighting at Coconut Creek, Florida. Age 27, a height of 6'1", and a reach of 76. So Bo Nickal does come with the reach advantage here. He's the better grappler by a lot. I would even say he has probably the better gas tank, has the better output. He didn't have the greatest performance against Jamie Pickett, but he did get it done in his 4th fight against a vet. Tresean Gore is kind of whatever, but he is a dangerous fight for him in terms of the power and the leg kicks. But ultimately, I'm going to be taking Bo Nickal here by second round sub. Bo Nickal's a competitor. And that's what it comes down to. He is a competitor to the highest form. He is an elite fighter, in my opinion. He's not an elite fighter right now, but he can be an elite fighter. I shouldn't say that, but Bo is the truth. He really is. Yeah, can Tresean get the KO? Maybe, but Bo Nickal, man, the wrestling, his accolades are just something special in that sport. A lot of people really don't realize how good this guy is in that wrestling world. And if he can translate any of that, which I know he can, he will outclass Tresean Gore. They are not in the same league as competitors. And I think he'll just out wrestle and break Tresean Gore in the second round. I could be wrong here, and it is a dangerous fight striking in the striking department. But Bo Nickal hits hard, and he's getting better and better every day. And what I'm liking about Bo Nickal, what he really needs to do in this fight is in and out movement. He cannot be in front of Tresean Gore for a long time. He has to be in and out, very bouncy, very light-footed, and those will set up his takedowns. I don't want to see him try to pressure Tresean Gore and look for takedowns. I want to see him going for angles and then getting takedowns, throwing punches and then transitioning to a single leg or a body lock or a double leg, stuff like that. I think if if Bo Nickal can do that, I think he'll be flawless here and put on a masterclass. So yeah. And next 2 fights, I do have breakdowns on this. Brandon Moreno versus Alexandre Pantoja 3. You guys know me. I am rocking with Pantoja by 3rd round sub. Mr. fucking Lego boy, your time is up. Your boogeyman is here. This is a bit of a... Sorry, I'm dying. This is a bit of an Alex Pereira versus Adesanya kind of storyline here. You know, Pantoja does have 2 wins over him, 1 in tough, and then he did kick this guy out of the UFC actually, which is funny. But now Brandon Moreno is the champion. Obviously, Moreno's gotten a lot better since those fights, but I just think Pantoja has his number. I think... Sorry, y'all. I think in the wrestling and the striking, I think he can match him, and I think he can drown him. I really, really do. So I'm rocking with Pantoja by 3rd round sub. And in the main event, Alexander Volkanovski versus Yair Rodriguez. I have a breakdown on this coming out. Really phenomenal fight. I cannot wait for this fight. It's going to be an awesome fight. I'm rocking with Volkanovski by 4th round TKO. I think ground and pound. I think this will be very similar to the Frankie Edgar fight. I know Yair has gotten so much better since that Frankie fight, but at the same time, he has not fought the level of wrestler since that. He has fought a lot of strikers, and he fought a prime Zombie. Don't get it twisted. Zombie's a good grappler, but he rarely initiates the grappling like Volkanovski. I've seen Volk. Well, you could even just see what Volk did to Korean Zombie in their fight. So it's a lot different. Volk is going to initiate the grappling on a higher level. Yeah, is it a dangerous fight? Yeah. Could he get caught with a head kick? Yeah. Has it happened before? Yeah, it has. But Volk, he's 34. He's still in his prime. I think he'll probably have a phenomenal performance here. I think he'll outgrind Yair. And Yair's had some fraudulent moments. And he's had his best performance against Josh Emmett, you know, and we just saw what Ilia Topuria just did to Emmett, so that's not that great. His second best performance that really showed that he was top 5, and I love Yair, so this pains me to say this, it was against Max Holloway, and Max Holloway taught him how to wrestle. If you don't think Alexander Volkanovski is going to legitimately rape this dude, and no disrespect to Yair, You're crazy. Yair's gonna have to really hope that Volk wants to strike with him to have a chance in this fight. So I think Volkanovski just too well-rounded. He's too smart. He understands that, hey, I got to take this guy down and win this fight, and he'll do that. He will play the stand-up a little bit, but when he does go for the takedowns will be there. He'll set him up properly. The ground and pound will be vicious, and it will be Frankie Edgar versus Yair Rodriguez 2.0. That's how I see this fight going. But yeah, that is it for my full card predictions. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. I love y'all, and goodbye. Go follow me on my Instagram and my Twitter. Like and comment and share this video. Let's get this eBay Fight Prediction Nation growing. Hope you guys enjoyed. Love y'all, and goodbye.